Hello, beautiful people. My recording is going to be off, but that's okay. It's loud as fuck over here, but that's okay. I had to come on here and do a video. I didn't prepare for this. I was led to do it for sure. Okay, so I'm officially out here showing up for myself. It's been about 2-3 months now that I've been thinking about doing a women's group. And I had been told before that I was going to be a part of a women's group, but I didn't know that I would be the one to create it, hold space for it. But I felt the call, and then I got the confirmation. And when I was making the flyers and everything, I felt into the energy of when I felt like Spirit was leading me. Mostly Mother Gaia was leading me to which date and time and place that it should be. And it wasn't that much time from when she told me to have it, from when I was going to be posting the flyer for it. And that's a little scary, because when you host events or you have things that you offer, you desire people to show up, and you desire people to be there, and you desire for it to immediately be a success, and that is possible. But sometimes there are other things at play that you may not realize, and that was for me. This is scary. This is discomfort, but it's fun, it's blissful, and it's taking me out a space of comfort that I've been in for so long. It's taking me out of a place of being in a freeze, being too scared to move into anything or do anything, just because of being scared of disappointment, being scared of the outcome. Like, if this was me a few months ago, I would have been devastated. Like, no one showed up, no one's here. But the message that came on my heart last night, before I knew, like when I was like looking at stuff, and I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna show up, but I'm also going to hold out the hope in the space in my heart that a miracle can happen and someone can show up. But it was like prevalent in my system, the more realistic reality side of my system, that things wouldn't go in this miraculous way that I've always dreamt them to be. But I believe that Mother Gaia had a plan, and this was purposeful. And I have been really getting back into trying to honor my word for myself, establish my trust back into myself, establish my love for myself, and really create a space in honoring myself first before any other. And so for me to start this group and to be the first person to show up and the only person to show up at the very first meeting is very symbolic. And as much as my realistic negative, not negative, but shadow side wants to deny that maybe you're just thinking this because you need an excuse to not be sad that no one showed up. But in reality, this is me establishing the roots of the group in a solid foundation of myself, a solid foundation of my connection with Mother Earth that I have, and a solid foundation in showing up for myself first before I'm showing up to hold space for anyone else. And that is something that I have never done. That is something new to me. And so I hear you, Gaia. The wind is just blowing harder. When I think these things and I'm just toying, the mind makes you doubt it, and you can either keep believing in what the mind is telling you, or you can trust in the Spirit and what is guiding you to see and show and I wholeheartedly believe that this is me showing up for myself, and this is not a failure. This is not the end, and that I'm never gonna do this again. I feel like it's just the beginning, and I really truly feel like this is me creating the solid foundation that I need to create for myself, that will then propel the miracles, the blessings, the everything of what is to come for this women's group. And I truly feel like it's meant to be. And of course, you know, I'm having time with myself. I'm spending time with Gaia, because why not take out the time to do that while I'm already here? And so of course I pull the cards, and like, cards are random, and true, technically I could have dug through and found a specific one, but who has time for that? So I pull my cards and randomly, and yeah, of course this one comes out. This one also came out. And it's just like, these things just cannot be made up. Spirit really speaks, and the messages truly come through when they're really needed, like really do. And so just to conclude this, I'm going to read from the book for the Pachamama card, because it's everything that my spirit was already telling me, that my mind has been doubting, because what successful events look like is this way, and what perfection looks like is this way. But that's not always the case. There are times where things are at play beyond what the mind can comprehend. So Pachamama. How is it that the boundless diversity of nature interacts as an extraordinary and harmonious ecosystem? Rather than dropping into a melee of competing interests, destructive conflict, or soul-deadening copycat conformity, it is all a question of holding space for it. The more diverse the input into any field, the more potential there is for conflict, yes, but also for creative innovation. Through our differences, we can bring out the best in each other. We could also allow differences to bring out the worst in each other. If we do allow them to close us down out of fear, we stifle the uniqueness of the soul. If we cannot hold space for increasing diversity, we risk extinguishing our creative passion for originality, and the energy, excitement, and evolution that uniqueness evokes will be lost. Those of us in positions of spiritual leadership and sacred guardianship desire a more vitalizing outcome for our communities. That means we need to tend to the way that we hold space. For such an invisible concept, holding space has an extraordinary power. To tap into that power, we need to understand that we cannot hold for one another what we cannot hold for ourselves. In Buddhist wisdom teachings, it is said that without compassion for the self, there cannot ever truly be compassion for another. Modern psychology teaches us that we cannot love another before learning how to love ourselves. This is empowering. It means that we can grow as capable new world leaders and guardians of communities through the work that we do within. It is reassuring to remember that the more we can hold space for ourselves, the more we can become a presence in which others can also flourish. As you do your inner work, your presence can create sacred space that is constructive, potent, and transformative, like ripples in the pond of consciousness which emanate outward from the century. The space you hold within can create a freeing and uplifting consciousness. Palpable in its effects, this will have a potential reach far beyond what you may expect. As we grow in our role of sacred guardianship on this planet, the space we hold for ourselves and the world becomes more potent and important. The space can become a way for diversity to be either a beautiful orchestra or a cacophony of chaos. The outcome depends on our ability to hold a sacred feminine presence that allows for differences to be integrated into oneness, whilst understanding that oneness has nothing to do with sameness. You have the ability to bring great life to the souls of this world through honoring your own soul journey. Don't underestimate the importance of your inner work or the healing effect it initiates in the world. So how do I come here and pull that card and not believe that the message that I was hearing is accurate, and not falling for the deception of the mind to make me feel small, to retreat back to safeness? I know it means well, but I have to step into my power. I have to step into this zone of discomfort, and I'm truly ready for it. This is exciting, this is fun, and there's no sadness here. Yeah, I just needed to share that. So thank you for listening.